Hey guys, Kaz here. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I know I'm doing great. Hey guys, Kaz vs. Wild was right around the corner, and if you remember last year, my tent broke because my pole snapped in half, and here's a picture of what it looked like. Kaz and I took, and I don't know if you can see it right there, I took a stick from the woods laying on the ground, and I carved it to have a slight curve in it, and to match the curve of the tent, and then he and I duct taped it to the poles to reassemble the broken pole. And later the second pole broke too. Actually, this one broke first and then this one, and we did it the same thing to the other pole. And then after he and I bushcrafted it and used pieces from the woods that grew and were free, cost us nothing, I bushcrafted it together. He wrapped it with the duct tape. Now, when we were at survival camp, I was able to fix that with using some sticks and just kind of made like an extension of the shaft, and was able to prop my tent up and use it for the rest of the trip. But this year I'm doing something different. This year I decided I wanted to see if we can make an emergency shelter by using PVC, 2 different diameters, versus using the traditional graphite tent poles that you see here. Now, this isn't just any ordinary PVC. This is the high pressure, very sturdy, very durable PVC. So this isn't just your basic PVC. This is a little more stronger than the basic PVC, so I think it's going to work. And I'm also going to use this heavier gauge PVC to use as this silver part to hold the sections together. So we're going to see how this works, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do this. Alright guys, I made my first cut with the PVC, and what I basically did was I took the length of the fiberglass pole itself, and I can see that half of it is going into the insert. So what I simply did was I took the pipe and I just eyeballed it, and I made a cut, and I measured it the exact same length as the fiberglass pole. So now that I have a master, I can go through and cut all the length of my PVC to the exact length that I need to hold my tent up. When I get that done, I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I cut all the poles that I needed, and you can see how they all came out pretty well. Each tent pole has 10 sections, and I have 10 sections here in front of me. That's what I have here. And as you can see, they're all pretty much the same length, so that worked out real easy. It wasn't too hard at all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tube here, and I'm going to make the outer sections so we can link them all together. Hey guys, I'm back, and I have all 10 of my tent poles that I need, and now I also have all the spacers that I need to connect all my tent poles together. You may have been wondering, is this actually going to fit over the PVC? And to answer that question, it was no. And the reason why is when I cut these, there was a slight burr inside. So what I had to do is take my knife and just bevel out that burr. And now I've got a nice form-fitting sleeve that goes right over this. And yeah, it's a little tight, but for the most part, it does fit. It does fit right over. And that's going to be really cool. You can see how it just kind of slides right in. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so it slides real nice and easy, because when we're out in the woods we don't want to have any problems. So I am going to make this slip a little bit easier, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dust off the edge of this right here a little bit, and that should make it a little bit more easier to slide over. Now also what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor one edge to every tent pole, just like these are here. Every side of the tent pole has an anchored part to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and when I finish that, I'll be back. Hey guys, I'm back one more time, and I've got these all set and ready to go. What I did was I polished both ends so that these would slip in here real nice and easy. You can see how that goes in without any trouble at all. This is really important when it's going to be coming to assembling the tent. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this anchoring glue, and I'm going to put some on the end, and I'm going to assemble this halfway so this can be the receptacle, just like you have on these tent poles, where these tent poles here, they slide into the receptacle here, and basically that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm adding this part to the pole right now, and when I go ahead and do that, I'll be back. In this process here, I'm showing you how to connect this part to the pole, and this is what's going to hold everything together. A nice twist, a good firm setting, so the glue can hold this all together. It's actually really easy. This sets in about 15 minutes, and according to the directions, it'll be dry in about 2 hours completely. It's actually a real easy process, as you can see, and we're going to find out if this project is actually going to work. But once I finish gluing all these together, I'll get back with you and I'll let you know how well it's going. But right now, it's going pretty good. And as you can see, the glue sets pretty quick, so you can't fool around too much. So there we go. Just gotta let these dry and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, I'm back again, and I'm on a different day now because I couldn't finish doing my project that night because it started raining and I had to abandon ship. But as you can see now, I have the poles exactly the same length as the original tent poles, and I want to show you what I did to the ends. I reinforced the ends here so when they stick into the tent, they've got some extra strength here as opposed to just the smaller size PVC. Even though this is the high strength, high pressure PVC, which is stronger than the basic PVC, I did want to reinforce the ends, and I just finished gluing these, so they gotta dry. But project's coming along great. It takes 15 minutes to set and says 2 hours to dry. So I'm gonna work on another part of the project until this dries, and I did this on both ends just to have an extra secure spot when it goes into the corner of the tent to anchor the tent down. So I thought it was a really smart idea, but it came out really good, and I'll show you that it is exactly the same length as the poles, as the original poles, and I'm thinking that it's going to work. And I do have some rubberized rope to go through to hold the poles together, just like these poles are held together. If I can get them apart, you see we got the elastic rope in there, and I have some of that rope for these new poles. But I'm going to assemble the tent first, just to see how rigid these poles are. I may have to do some adjusting of the rigidity to these PVC poles, and I've already got a couple ideas in mind on how I can do that. So when I get to that point, I'll come back with you. Alright guys, I got the first tent pole through and went through real easy, didn't have any problems getting it through, but the challenge is going to be getting the second tent pole through. So when I get to that point, I'll show you if I was successful or if it was a failure. Hey guys, I'm back, and I want to show you that I had great success with these PVC poles, and I got the tent up, and it looks great. I'm really excited about it working out, and I'm looking forward to going to this year's survival camp up in Frankfort, Michigan. And I just want to show you what I did. I just got these guy lines here to help support the tent, and I'm going to go through and going to make these guy lines. Now that I got one tied off, I can measure it, and need to make 8 guy lines to support the tent, just like this one here. It's supposed to go under the pipe, but obviously the pipe size difference is considerably different than the graphite poles, and these would just clip onto the graphite poles. But so far it looks great. I'm really excited about the tent. Really excited about how it came out, and indeed, for right now, it's holding well. I don't know weather-wise how well it's going to hold, but I guess we'll find out when we go on the trip coming up on the 19th up in Frankfort, Michigan. And don't forget, it's not too late to sign up and come out and join us. Oh, you don't have to sign up, but just come out and join us in the wilderness. Casarus Wild Season 6. And it's still a little dirty from last year. Got to sweep that out. But I'm really excited about the tent. And wow, this heavy-duty PVC definitely works. So, and even if I come across some challenges, there's still some things that I can do to make it more rigid. And now the last thing I got to do is just run the elastic cord through the center of the pole, and that's all I really got to do. And I've got the elastic rope in the house, so that's not going to be hard at all. I'm not going to show that part, but wow, this came out great. I'm really surprised, to be honest with you, that it actually worked. But let me shake it here, give it the shake test. You can see shaking it pretty good here, and doesn't seem to be falling down at all. It's pretty rigid. Kind of excited about that. So it's not really wavering at all. So that's really great. Really cool. So thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you at survival camp.